Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're counting down 7 motorcycles dealers are desperate to get rid of. Bikes that were supposed to be hits, but ended up gathering dust in showrooms. Number 7. Harley-Davidson Dyna Switchback. The Switchback was supposed to be the ultimate 2-in-1 Harley, a cruiser for city rides and a tourer for the highway. It featured a 690cc twin-cam 103 engine, detachable saddlebags, and a quick-release windshield for easy customization. So, why didn't it work? Its biggest flaw wasn't in the specs, it was in its identity crisis. Riders who wanted a lightweight cruiser already had the Street Bob or Lowrider. Those looking for a full touring bike chose the Road King or Street Glide. The Switchback tried to be both, but never truly excelled at either. Handling wasn't great either. On paper, the shorter wheelbase should have made it nimble, but the stiff rear suspension and narrow front end made it unstable on rough roads. Add in limited storage and a high price tag starting at $16,499, and riders just opted for a Road King instead. Now dealers are stuck with a bike that's too heavy for beginners, too stripped down for touring fans, and too niche for Harley's core audience. Some models even go for half their original price just to move inventory. And if you think the Switchback struggled, wait until you see number 6, a Harley that was supposed to bring in new riders, but turned into one of the company's biggest flops. Number 6, Harley-Davidson Street 500 and 750. Harley needed a way to attract younger riders, so they introduced the Street 500 and Street 750, affordable, beginner-friendly bikes built for urban riding. On paper, they had potential. Low seat height, 25.7 inches for easy handling. Lightweight chassis, 492 pounds for the 500, 514 pounds for the 750. Liquid-cooled Revolution X engine for smoother performance. So what went wrong? The engines felt weak. Riders expecting the classic torquey Harley rumble were left disappointed with a generic commuter bike feel. Then there were build quality issues. Cheap plastic parts, rattling panels, flimsy controls, and a stiff suspension that made every bump feel like a pothole. Even experienced riders looking for a city-friendly second bike found the handling uninspiring. And the price didn't help. The Street 500 started at $7,695, while the Street 750 was $8,499. For just a bit more, buyers could get a used Sportster 883, a real Harley with better resale value and customization options. With stronger competition from the Honda Rebel 500 and Yamaha Bolt, the Street Series flopped hard. Even dealers struggled to sell them, often resorting to massive discounts. If you thought the Street Series was bad, just wait for number 5, a Harley that aimed to be a high-performance cruiser but ended up stuck in the clearance section. Number 5, Harley-Davidson V-Rod. A high-performance Harley sounds amazing, right? That's what the V-Rod was supposed to be, a power cruiser with a 1,250cc liquid-cooled Revolution V-twin developed with Porsche. It made 125 horsepower, 85 pound-feet of torque, and could hit 0 to 60 miles per hour in just over 3 seconds. So why didn't it sell? Because Harley riders didn't want it. Instead of the low-end torque and deep rumble Harleys are known for, the V-Rod needed high revs to hit its power band. Instead of a classic air-cooled look, it had a futuristic design that alienated purists. Instead of being easily customizable, it was harder to modify than other Harleys. And at $11,199, it was too expensive for sport bike riders and too radical for Harley's core buyers. Riders looking for performance chose the Yamaha V-Max or Ducati Diavel instead. The tiny 3.7-gallon fuel tank and stretched-out riding position made it impractical for long rides, and after years of slow sales, Harley killed the V-Rod in 2017. Even now, dealerships struggle to sell used models. But if you think the V-Rod's identity crisis was bad, wait until you see number 4, a Harley that tried to blend performance styling with heritage, but ended up being too extreme for both sides. Number 4, Harley-Davidson Street Rod. Harley wanted to build a cruiser with sport bike-inspired performance. What they got instead was a bike that was too uncomfortable for Harley fans and too sluggish for sport bike lovers. The Street Rod was based on the Street 750, but with more power, 64 horsepower versus 53 horsepower, upgraded suspension, and dual-disc front brakes. It should have been a great alternative to the Sportster. So why did it flop? The riding position was awkward. high pegs, raised seat, and a cramped posture that felt unnatural. The styling wasn't classic Harley, but it also wasn't modern enough to compete with bikes like the Yamaha MT-07 or Honda CB650R. The price, $8,999, put it in a weird spot. Too expensive for beginners, not compelling enough for experienced riders. By the time people considered their options, most skipped the street rod entirely. It was discontinued in 2020, and dealers are still trying to sell leftover stock at deep discounts. But if you think that was a misstep, number 3 was an even bigger disaster. A Harley meant to be a high-performance cruiser that completely missed the mark. Number 3, Harley-Davidson FXDR 114. Harley doesn't make sport bikes, but when they tried to build a drag-inspired power cruiser, they went all in. The FXDR 114 packed a Milwaukee 8114 engine, 119 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in just over 4 seconds, and a lightweight frame. So why did it fail? The futuristic design, it didn't look like a Harley. The riding position was awkward, forward controls and low handlebars felt uncomfortable. The massive 240mm rear tire made handling clumsy. And then there was the price, $18,999. Riders could get a Lowrider S or Fat Bob instead. Harley pulled the plug in 2020, and dealers have been stuck with them ever since. Number 2, Harley-Davidson Pan America. Harley tried to enter the adventure bike market with the Pan America 1250, taking on BMW and KTM. It had 150 horsepower, 94 pound-feet of torque, adjustable suspension and tech-packed dash, a competitive price at $17,399. But it didn't sell well due to software glitches and sensor failures. Top-heavy handling, Harley's weak reputation in the ADV market. Number 1, Harley-Davidson CVO Road Glide. At $48,999, this ultra-premium Harley is too expensive, even for die-hard fans. Riders can buy a Road Glide Special and customize it for less. With poor resale value, dealers can't move them, and discounts are popping up everywhere. Which one surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more motorcycle content. Ride safe, and we'll see you in the next one.